even startup companies, should set themselves governance standards from the outset as if they were a public company. And my big learning over the years is that governance standards are actually quite logical, easy to implement if you put them in day one, and always in pursuit of excellence. So when we think about recruitment is generally led by the Nominations and Governance Committee of the board. In the article, I mentioned that I deem that to be the most important committee on the board, far more important in relative terms than audit or other committees, because effectively that's the committee that is the gating committee for who sits on that board. And I believe that good boards recruit for two core criteria: culture and diversity. I believe that diversity on the board will become the single most important criteria. And people run almost to gender diversity being the key issue. Hugely important, and we have a long way to go in Ireland, and indeed all over the world, to get to a proper gender balance. But ethnicity, diversity of thought, diversity of background. Too often in the past, board members have tended to hire people who feel and look like themselves. And we need to challenge ourselves more as board members to bring board members on that will really shake things up from a diversity perspective. What's important is to understand the culture of the company that you're working in, but more importantly, when you are recruiting for a board, what is the culture of your board? And when you talk to board practitioners, and if they're honest, they will say, in general, the culture of a board is often described in generalities. It's collegiate, it's friendly, it's challenging, or whatever. But rarely do you get to a second level analysis of the culture of a board. Being able to articulate the culture of the company you're recruiting for, to ensure that the board member you're seeking out fits that culture, is really important. Today, world-class leading company secretaries are taking a much more proactive role on boards. They don't generally sit on the board, but they're at every single board meeting or discussion. They have more insight, more perspective than anybody else that is operating in that company. And therefore they have more responsibility around the agenda, for example. Board agendas will move from operational metrics consuming the vast majority of time to strategic issues. And within the strategic issues, people, strategic HR, recruitment, retention, learning and development will become probably the single most important and probably the largest board agenda item in great boards as we move forward. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the perspective, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you.